stream. It is official. Russian government is blocking YouTube. It's killing the biggest and best channel of free, uncensored information available to Russians. Among other actions against Russian people, this can be placed on top somewhere. Plain and simple, it's a disaster. What will Russians do? Let's talk about it. Howdy everyone, my name is Konstantin, welcome to Inside Russia, where usual Russia is explained by the unusual Russian. No propaganda, BS or lies here, only truth, common sense and logic. And some emotions too, because I am a human being after all. Today's live stream consists of 3 parts: the message, the discussion in the chat after, and the usual prayer at the end. Now, first rumors of Russian state blocking YouTube appeared right after Russia invaded Ukraine in March of 2022. A few high-caliber politicians started threatening to completely block YouTube because there were so many pro-Ukrainian YouTube channels. They started growing like mushrooms, and they were showing real live pictures and videos from the front lines and from Ukraine. And obviously those real live videos, they were different from the pictures shown to Russians on Russian TV. And many Russians were also very vocal and standing up against the war, uploading messages on YouTube. And among those Russians were very high-profile people, you know, entertainers, actors, athletes, high-profile celebrities. So those messages of theirs were seen by millions. And Russian officials, for the first time in modern history, faced a force that they couldn't control. And that was driving them nuts. So they first started making threats left and right. And I remember that time quite well. It was March of 2022. It was chaos. And among other things, they were threatening YouTube, they were threatening Instagram, Telegram. They started sending messages to Meta's Facebook, demanding that Facebook would start censoring what Ukrainians were uploading, making available for everyone to see. And obviously, Facebook told them to fudge off, and, you know, they made Meta, the parent company of Facebook, extremist organization in Russia. You know, it's still banned in Russia, and Instagram is banned. And YouTube was threatened a lot. So that was the first wave. And the second wave of threats rose on April 9th of 2022 when YouTube blocked the official channel of Russian Parliament, the official Telegram channel. YouTube channel of Russian Parliament. Boy, they went wild. I remember it was all over the news, and one of the federal ministers, can't recall which one, warned Russian bloggers, YouTube content creators, to back up all their work because it was soon to be lost, all of it. It was a very direct message, a warning, and we all took it as they were trying to block the YouTube. I actually made 2 live streams discussing that situation in March and in April of 2022. Some of you might even remember them. So that was a direct threat from a federal minister. I thought that actions would actually follow, but they didn't. And this is why. You know, a little off topic. The more I think of it, the more I compare today's Russia, Putin's Russia, to Roman Empire. Not Roman Republic, where they were the checks and balances, the system of political checks and balances, and constant political competition, where people were represented in the Senate and could influence policies of Rome. That was the republic, but very different from Russia. But what Russia looks like is the empire, what followed. The republic fell and the empire was born. And that was the beginning of the end of ancient Rome. So, again, the republic is not today's Russia. Instead, Putin's Russia is Roman Empire. And Putin, obviously, the emperor. He has Praetorians, Russian Secret Service, with unlimited power. He surrounds himself with family and friends. He uses the country as if it were his property. And he is the law in Russia. And there are other similarities too, but discussing that would be off topic, perhaps in another stream. But as to the citizens of Rome, every emperor appeased them with bread and circuses. Even now, 2,000 years ago, we all know the saying, bread and circuses. Bread and circuses were paid by emperors. Emperors paid for giving the citizens bread and entertainment. And that kept Romans at bay somewhat. Theatrical performances, chariot races, gladiatorial games, of course, games, gladiators, death, more blood, that stuff. So, in today's Russia, Putin is the emperor. On paper, of course, he's democratically elected president, but in reality, we'll understand. Everything in Russia belongs to him through the power of executive decisions, orders. Just one example to you. There was an executive decision some time ago to seize Russia's largest car dealer, private car dealer, called Rolf, from rightful owner, and transfer it to a friend of the head of the Secret Service. The whole deal was worth 5 billion. Well, the dealership is worth 5 billion rubles or something like that. So that's a lot of money, around 60 million US dollars. Just like that, the executive order would seize it from the rightful owner and transfer it to another company. So Vladimir Putin, gives Russians bread, multiple subsidies, financial support, grants, small but plentiful. And most importantly, he gives Russians circuses. The state-funded TV, the newspapers, the patriotic concerts, different rallies, things like that, all free to Russian people, all televised. Everyone has access to them, all paid by the government. Well, by Putin. He makes the decision who to pay, who not to pay, okay? The ways of circuses in Roman Empire and Russia are very different these days. But the idea of circuses hasn't changed in 2 millennia. It's still absolutely the same. And amazingly enough, people still fail for it. They still buy it, And YouTube is also the circuses. It is also the entertainment. Although it's not state-funded and it's not state-controlled. It has been growing in popularity, and now it beats Russian TV, believe it or not. And that fact of YouTube being madly popular saved YouTube. Well, it was saving YouTube for 2 years from being blocked, but also that's a verdict. The death of YouTube, its popularity at the same time. So, take away circuses from Russian populace, and people become angry, unsettled, anxious. What do? They go to the streets. They start congregate. They start talking to each other. They start asking questions, perhaps. That's not good. So if politicians blocked YouTube in April of 2022, they couldn't offer an alternative. Imagine Russians stop watching YouTube and all of a sudden they have plenty of free time on their hands. What would they do? Again, go to the streets, talk to each other, congregate, exchange ideas, get ideas in their hands. Well, that's not good. Getting ideas in the heads, no way to go. Drink vodka, watch a soap opera, watch a patriotic show, patriotic movie. That's much better for you. So anyway, the popularity of YouTube saved it from being blocked in 2022. There was nothing to offer, and it was not the right timing. There was a platform called RuTube, a Russian tube, belonging to Gazprom, but it was not a real project, not real video hosting. It was just a way how to steal more federal budget money from the taxpayers. Gazprom was simply hiring film crews and paying a lot for small, meager, unimportant videos that no one really watched. RuTube is still there. They beefed it up a little bit. It's buggy and no one really watches. Its audience cannot even be compared to YouTube. Not even close, okay? There's also VK, video hosting. Russian alternative to Facebook, VK. Fairly close to RuTube, Russian tube. Kind of the same idea. They're beefing it up with different videos. Nothing extraordinary, not huge audiences, nothing like YouTube. And there's Russian secret weapon. Russia's propaganda secret weapon. YouTube Killer. The new high-tech product called Platforma, plvideo.ru. Very odd name. Definitely not YouTube. So anyway, they will have this Russian products. They all have similar interfaces. Just like, not like YouTube. YouTube is very refined. It looks, it's very convenient. It's very thought out. The Russian products, they look more like Rumble, it's more rough. Now I should explain why no one will kill and replace YouTube, most likely ever in the near future. But before I jump there, I would like once again to thank you, those of you who bought me coffees at buymecoffee.com. The support shows that you value my work highly, and please know that it's not just coffee that you buy in me. It's the most powerful positive feedback I can get. It inspires and gives me energy to move forward, tells me that I'm doing something right. I also would like to thank the sponsors of this channel. Some of you have been sponsoring me for over 2 years. Thank you, friends. Thank you. Don't forget that I host private live streams every Saturday for sponsors and patrons. So thank you. Thank you so much. Now, why YouTube is safe for now in the world. No one is going to kill or replace or outcompete it. Yes, it can be blocked in Russia or in any other country, but it cannot be outcompeted because YouTube is actually a genius product. I personally love YouTube. It's not just video hosting where you can upload videos and they're gonna be just there for you, for everyone. It is an ecosystem that knows you. It collects data about you, all kinds of data. YouTube is a part of Google. After all, on Google, it's safe to say that Google knows everything about us. So that data about you creates a cloud of your preferences, and it selects videos that it thinks you would like and shows them to you. And it's called YouTube's algorithm, the famed algorithm. Every single content creator knows what the algorithm is and are trying to beat it. Most can't, but we're all trying. Well, actually, I'm not, but I am aware that it exists. The algorithm is so advanced that sometimes it seems like magic. I personally open YouTube's homepage and all videos there that YouTube shows me I want to watch. No one can beat that. No Russian products, no products in other countries, no video services. But say Rumble, okay? That one I know is trying, but gosh, not even close. They don't have Google data. They don't have Google Analytics. They're all at least 10 years behind, and YouTube is 10 years ahead of everyone. I'm pretty sure you're watching me on YouTube right now. I'm pretty sure you understand what I'm talking about. YouTube is genius. And another reason why, and it's even more genius, I think, it is the embodiment of capitalism. It monetizes people's attention and shares revenues with creators. It makes creators partners. YouTube has this revenue sharing program. It's called a partners program. You become a partner of YouTube, and it's really a partnership. So on top of that, YouTube makes creators compete. They constantly better their content, their videos, to win more viewers, to make their content more interesting, so people would watch more and more. Now, let's compare to Russian platforms. Russian platforms, actually, to boost themselves and to attract viewers, to get viewers from YouTube, they decided to go a different route. They did not create this algorithm that selects videos and simply caters to you personally and so forth. No, they decided to go an easier path, so to speak. They decided to buy popular content creators on YouTube and bring them to their platforms. And they did that. So they gave YouTubers contracts, some YouTubers contracts, that they would leave YouTube, move to, let's say, VK videos or RuTube, and make videos there. So you see, YouTubers immediately lost initiative, motivation to better themselves, to create better content. They got the money, they got the contract. All they need to do is to produce a certain number of shows per year, per few months, or whatever, okay? And this is how these platforms work. YouTube is pure capitalistic way. That's a free market economy, free market video hosting, okay, where videos compete with each other. Russian video hosting services are, well, Russian way. Flood them with money, make them work for you, and control them. They are not even close to YouTube. Not even close. In the way that they serve videos to people, there's a complete mess, and their content is simply not top-notch. They will fail as soon as the federal financing will dry up, and I think that will happen fairly soon. So, what is Russian government doing right now, and why it's blocking YouTube at this particular time in the summer of 22? There is a reason for that, and that's pretty profound reason. Russian state, Russian government, Russian gang, whatever you want to call it, is never about revolution, always about evolution. Starting out slowly, working its way up and out, taking small stepping stones. Why? It's called mind conditioning and brainwashing. Introducing small pieces of information and taking small steps, they don't create big negative reaction, but perhaps small inconvenience in people. And that just doesn't backfire, not enough inconvenience to backfire. They condition and change people's minds step by step, small step by step, but consistently over long periods of time. This current conditioning has been going on since 2011. And this can be compared to losing weight or growing muscles, whatever you like the most. you don't lose weight overnight. You can't just fall asleep and then wake up minus 20 pounds, okay? If you want to lose weight, you have to do it slowly, step by step. You have to start watching what you eat, exercise. Basically, you have to use more calories that you intake. But doctors never recommend losing weight quickly because your body will backfire. You most likely, well, often people get sick. Same thing, you don't gain muscles overnight. When you start working out, 1-2 weeks, nothing happens to you. Your muscles visually stay the same. I mean, the processes inside your body, they start, but slowly. And it takes years and years to gain muscles. You would see results in like 1 year, and the propaganda, Russian conditioning, is the same way. It starts slowly and just keeps on working out, keeps on eating less than, using more calories than taking calories, So I hope I understood it, so you understand. So again, they've been working on the minds of Russian people slowly but surely over the past 13 years. Again, it's not a revolution, but it's evolution. With YouTube, it's not a complete ban. But slowing YouTube down. First, it's experiment for a few days. Minor inconvenience, really, and they announced that. Just watch, something is going on with YouTube. It's slowing down by 30%, not a big deal. Then they increase the slowdown, they grow it, and let's say it's slowing down by 70% for longer periods of time. And then after a while, people get used to that, and YouTube is blocked completely. So simultaneously, they explain why this is happening. First, they experimenting. Oh, this is an experiment happening and slowing down YouTube for a couple of days. That's not our decision. It's not our choice. It's Google's fault, because Google has equipment here in Russia, and since it's left the equipment, it's not being upgraded, it's worn out, and it's not working as well. So because of Google's equipment, aging equipment, this is a slowdown. Yes, it's Google's fault. We have nothing to do with it. Then 1 month later, or 3 weeks later, they come out and say, well, you know what, we're going to be slowing it down, but we want to send a message to Google. They would start cooperating with us, taking down the videos that we want to take them down. Okay, and we want to do that during the vacation time in the summer of 2024, because we don't want people to suffer. And this slowdown will concern only the desktop computers, not the mobile devices. People are out in the seaside, somewhere in the lakes, having a good time, vacationing. So that's not going to affect them, but it'll affect those who are sitting in front of desktops. And of course, we all know that Google will not back down. It will not come back to Russia. It will not start censoring pro-Ukrainian videos, and no. This news happened, first experiment of slowing down YouTube happened 3 weeks ago when I covered it in the news, available to patrons. Every single day, I carefully select and post 9 news that I find important with my commentaries and analysis. It'll keep you informed on anything you wanted to know about Russia, but we're always afraid to ask. Become patron at patreon.com and get the access to the news that matter. And I'm going to put the link down below after the stream ends. So, it's Google's fault. That's what they say. Well, at least that's what they said. Today they announced that it's not Google's fault after all. It's their decision. Another lie, but somehow Russians keep buying lies, and it doesn't infuriate them. It infuriates me, but I'm the unusual Russian. I can't stand when the government lies, and I write these things down, okay? Russian Senator Hinstein stated today that YouTube could be slowed down by 70% by the end of fall. As soon as by August, okay, really. He confirmed that the platform is being slowed down by the authorities. It's their choice. It's not Google's equipment. It's perfectly fine. I quote, "By the end of this week, the YouTube download speed on desktop computers may decrease to 40%, by 40%, and by the end of next week, up to 70%. This measure will affect only the desktop version, so it will not affect mobile communications yet." Unquote. According to Hinstein, the slowdown of YouTube is a forced step directed against the administration of YouTube. Oh, we've heard it so many times. It's forced. We've been forced. We've been forced to attack Ukraine. It's not us. It's not our fault. If it wasn't us, they would attack us in 12 hours, okay? So we were forced to slow down YouTube. It's not our fault. We were just forced. Because them YouTube, Google folks are bad, and then they forced us, okay? Also, he says it is not coincidence that the summer period was chosen to slow down, to bring YouTube to its senses. Yeah, right. When majority of people are on vacations and use mobile devices to access the internet. The slowing down of YouTube will not affect them in any way, but the resources, Google and YouTube, will see that the state has moved from simple persuasion to taking solid steps. That's what he wrote. On July 12th, I'll remind you, Rostelecom, that's a Russian telecommunication juggernaut company, announced the only company that controls everything in Russia. So they announced possible slowdown in YouTube in Russia. Again, they blamed Google, and the insiders were saying that, of course, it was not the Google. Why they're doing it? Why now? Why ever? Couldn't they just make YouTube coexist with Russian propaganda-controlled platforms, RuTube and VK Video, and this new PL platforma, plvideo.ru? Why they're blocking it? Why they first slowing down, but we all know that they will block it. The dates, the insiders are giving the dates sometimes in September or October. They will block it. There's one major reason. It is time. The tsunami is here, and the tsunami is changing lives of the country and people. The tsunami is affecting everyone, and not in a very good way. Now, I've been covering this tsunami, and I've said recently many times that we don't have to wait for it. It's not around the corner anymore. It's here. It's making lives of regular people worse. Inflation, I think that the official demise that they will start talking about, because right now they're keeping silent. Despite rising prices of gasoline, of food, everything, despite the complete lack of investments in the economy, despite a catastrophe going on, the unemployment rate is 2.2% right now, they're keeping silent. But tomorrow, you mark my words down, Russia's central bank will increase the key rate from 16 to 18%. And that's going to be an official start of the demise. They will start talking about it. Because you just cannot ignore it. It's going to be another huge blow to businesses in Russia, and another impulse given to the inflation. So we are at this point in Russia we cannot ignore. We cannot sugarcoat. Well, they can't sugarcoat anymore. It's visible. It's no matter how much and how hard you try to cover this disaster up, it starts, coming out everywhere from every single crack. The tsunami is here. And the government knows that there will be unrest. No one knows when and how big of an unrest, but it is absolutely clear. Things will not be the same anymore. And they are afraid, and they're trying to minimize the risks. Big war is coming to Russia. And Russian government is trying to take every single step to somehow make its position stronger. YouTube is one of those steps. YouTube is a means of exchanging ideas, educating, calling people. Russian YouTube in Russian language, so many news, they're available to Russians right now. Russian opposition has moved abroad. They've set up large Telegram channels. There are big medias with hundreds of professional reporters working for them. And they make excellent content available to Russians. And they tell the truth for the most part. And Russians listen. And the more they will be listening the truth, and the more they will be seeing the situation inside the country getting worse every day, the more chances that something will happen. So Russian government wants to cut off access of Russian people to truth. And now it is the time to do that. Because now Russia is changing. Now this fever is on, Russia is shaking. And this is definitely the right time for them to block YouTube, to cut access of Russian people from YouTube. What will Russians do? Well, like I said, it's a huge blow. Huge. YouTube is one of those, the only really source left to get the information, A lot of Russians will lose access to YouTube. Older Russians will lose because, first of all, it's going to be first slow, and then they will block it completely. And they've learned a thing or two from the Chinese. These 2 years have not gone in vain for Russian government. They know how to block it effectively. They've been fighting VPNs, virtual private networks, that is small programs that allow to surpass blockings. VPNs still working in Russia, but it's much more difficult to install them. It's very few VPNs left. And you have to know what to do. You have to have certain degree of technological knowledge. Older folks, they don't know. My mom will be cut off from YouTube. People like my mom, they will simply don't know how to surpass this blockage. A lot of people, instead of, taking additional steps to go online and see YouTube videos, they will say, oh, heck with it, I don't care. And they would switch to something else, to YouTube, whatever. So it's going to be a huge blow. I don't exactly know how they will have access to YouTube, but I don't despair. I still have hope. Because I've seen something similar happening. I've seen us, Soviet folks, back in 1991, not having access to any truthful information. We didn't have telephones. We didn't have, our TV was definitely not what I would call informational, okay? We didn't have real newspapers. We didn't have anything. Yet, we didn't have YouTube, certainly not YouTube. We didn't have internet, didn't have communications, we didn't have messengers. Yet, we all went to the streets in late August of 1991 without help of YouTube. And I think that it can be done again. Russian government will fall again, just like the USSR fell, because empires are simply not sustainable. Empires always fall. And this one will also fall. Thank you. Folks, I'd like to ask you a favor. If you liked what you just heard, please give it a thumb up, like it, and leave a comment. I would like to get your feedback. What do you think? Are you with me? Do you agree with what I said? Perhaps you didn't agree with something. Let me know down below in the comments. And if you have nothing to say, just leave a couple nice words saying, "Hey, Konstantin, enjoyed it. Thank you so much." And, reading that is very, very pleasant. It gives me grows wings behind my back. So thank you so very much. Now I would like to turn on the live stream chat on, and I would like to invite you to share your opinions. And perhaps if you have any questions, I would love to answer them. Thank you. The chat is on. And I would like to acknowledge the moderators: Lorna, Mami K, Bob S, Harry Potnan, Amir Fazat, and Dirk are the best moderators in the world. Great people, and just the best moderators you can find on the internet. And thank you, sponsors. Thank you, patrons. Thank you for your support. Again, this Friday, day after tomorrow. Oh, I'm sorry, this Saturday. Friday's news update from Russia. Crazy news. Boy, there are so many crazy news. Sometimes I catch myself thinking, is this really happening? No, man, I myself I have hard time believing that stuff, right? So anyway, tomorrow is coming, and on Saturday for patrons and sponsors, as usual, the live stream, private live stream chat. Thank you. Lorna, Dirk, Mommy, Bob, Harry, and Amir. Again, fantastic to see you. Thank you. The usual suspects, great to see you. Lorna, who? Let me remind you, if you want me to notice your question or comment easier, please put it in all caps or put "Inside Russia" after @ so that highlights for me, highlights an orange box, so it's visible, just like Bob S did. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And somehow, there you go. To super chats from Mac. Thank you, friend, from Switzerland. Question: how safe is the operation of nuclear reactors in Russia? Nova Voronezh, built in 1972, is maintenance operation also affected by sanctions and a lack of specialists and spare parts? Mac, feel safe. I am feeling safe about nuclear power plant operations. Russians are not crazy, at least not in that department. Okay, they still recognize the danger of nuclear energy. They have not been affected by sanctions because everything is manufactured domestically. As far as I know, you just can't get inside of this industry. It's controlled by KGB, by FSB. You need to get special permissions of different levels. We did work at a nuclear power plant once, a long time ago, and we simply did the most basic work. We poured concrete in large quantities because those structures are magnificent, grand. And before working, we were getting a special FSB license for like 6 months, applying for it. They were checking us, and they actually did due diligence, quality control, real. I know what I'm talking about. They watch the quality of the works performed. And as for the technology, I can't tell you for sure because I'm not a specialist in nuclear power plants. But one of my colleagues used to work at Novovoronezhskaya, and then he worked at Zaporozhskaya. He worked all over. So basically, he even worked in the United States in the early 90s. He said that modern technology is safe. He said that he never worried. Everything was maintained well when he worked. It still is because he still keeps contacts with his former colleagues. He says that accidents do happen, but not the magnificent of not the magnitude of Chernobyl accident. And Chernobyl theoretically is not possible these days because they changed technology, they changed procedures, and he also said that nuclear power plant industries there are not too many. Okay, there are very few countries like Germany used to be, Japan, the USA, Russia. They all talk to each other, and they have like common commissions when something happens, an accident happen, like a 3 mile island accident in the United States. They discussed it. They investigated all of them, Russians, Japanese, French, Americans, and they learned from the mistakes. They eliminated possibility of that happening again. So that gives me a lot of hope, and I feel safe about this nuclear power plants operating. And the ones in Ukraine, they're same as in Russia. They're built by the same company, Rosatom. Well, used to be Soviet Atom back then. They're the same. Thank you for your question. Very good one. Thanks for the support. Lorraine Proznovsky, no message, but Lorraine, so fantastic to see you. Super chat or not, always great to see. You are one of the pillars of Inside Russia, and seeing you here, staying with us, just warming my heart up. Warming my heart. So thank you, Lorraine. Santi Prieto, thank you again, friend. Serial super chatter, buy a nice Belgium triple beer. Cheers. Well, I tell you what, I like Belgian beer. I've had it before. Well, I don't drink much of beer. If I find it here in Tashkent, I will have a beer. I haven't had it in a very long time. I remember when I had a beer. I went to Egypt in March, and this terror attack happened in Moscow. And I had a very, very emotional stream. And I came back like 4 or 5 in the morning, and I couldn't fall asleep. So I took a beer from minibar. Beer was crap, made in Egypt, but it was beer. So I had it. I relaxed a little bit, and I went to sleep. So thank you. Thank you for your support, for your gift. Thank you. Kevin Baker, the real estate expert, found it funny that Shaman protested his YouTube ban on the U.S. Embassy. Guess he doesn't like RuTube. I know. It's so ironic. It's so sarcastic. It's satirical. That's the right word. Satirical. These people don't make sense. They contradict themselves. Pinda the Peanut, howdy from Rotterdam. Sponsor for 21 months. Thank you so much. Always listening, not always in sync. Keep on the way you are doing. Thank you so much, Pinda. You are also one of the pillars of Inside Russia. Thank you for all your being part of Inside Russia and all your support. Thank you. VJ John from Montreal, Ray Cousins, as usual, from London. Say hello to London from me. What a magnificent city. Really one of the capitals of the world. Allison Marlowe from Florida. Florida is in my heart. That's a place where I'd like to live. Sean Voltats, thank you so much. Just Jimmy, Beggy 111, Germany, good Nabed, Münster. I love your cheese, by the way. Münster cheese. Oh, so good. Used to buy it in Russia and then it was banned. But anyway, Münster cheese rules. Keith, howdy. Terry, hello, friend. Sugarland, Texas in the house. Palware Flex, there are still around 8 Chernobyl-type reactors working today. The question is the same catastrophe possible with those reactors? Or they have been somehow upgraded? Perhaps the automation system have been upgraded? That's the question, okay? Daniel McInnes is back. Howdy, friend. All the way from Canada. Also a great country. Check fan funding, super chats, members, milestone messages. Miss Lorna, thank you so much. I will do that. It was a long answer. So again, Mac, Lorraine, Sam, the legend. Howdy, Sam. Thank you. What's Russia doing with its Rupel payment system? Not sure the real name. No, it's not Rupel. Rupel sounds good. The system is called the Peace or World Mir. Okay, that's what it's called. It's not doing anything. It's trying to, develop into different countries, and they keep on snubbing Russia. So Mir payments is getting shut down. It was a period when it opened in Venezuela, in Cuba, in Vietnam, or Laos, not Vietnam, Laos. But now their countries are refusing because of secondary sanctions. That's pretty simple. I will cover it either in the news or I will make an economic stream. Lorna, sponsor for 20 months. I see who I missed. Thank you, Lorna. YouTube. I like that. Leslie Fleming for 20 months also. Thank you so much. How effective are aging Russian nukes? If I could have an answer for any question, that would be the one I would pick. That is definitely the question. How well the nukes have been maintained? Can they fly? Are they a real threat? But I guess we will not know the answer. Hopefully, we will never know the answer. Terry is the sponsor for 23 months. Thank you, Terry. Thank you. I don't think you've missed one stream. Thank you so much. Debbie, when will your wife be on your channel again? How about day after tomorrow? I really enjoyed that Saturday. Lots of laughs. Thank you, Debbie. I will try to come up with something interesting. So we talk about like our life, perhaps in the past. Or perhaps, she'll tell you how she traveled throughout the United States or throughout Europe. So I'll bring, I will bring her. I will graciously ask the boss to join us on Saturday, and I will be hoping that she will. I'd better not say I'll bring her over. KG1, thank you so much. How has the gaming industry also been affected? The younger generation resentful to the leadership's decision? Good question. Gaming industry has not been affected. As far as I know, everyone keeps on playing games. They're available because younger people know how to circumvent blockings and they know how to use VPNs. All I have, if I need some kind of help with computers, I'd go to Oля and Dasha, say, hey, how do I do that? Although I'm not that old and I'm not that outdated, if you know what I mean. I still know a thing or two about computers. I keep on using them every day. I study, but still, those kids, they look natural. And younger generation is resentful. There's a group of people, they can't stand of Putin, they can't stand Russian government. They are age from 18 to 25. Those who were born outside of the USA in the 90s, and those who were still remember free Russia, they can't stand Putin. The rest are conditioned, unfortunately. Carson Larimore, thank you so much. How will inside Russia, YouTubers get paid when it's taken down? Will they avert to Patreon, etc.? They're not getting paid now much. If their audience Russian speaking from Russia, then YouTube simply does not show ads to them, so they do not get paid. Big YouTubers sell commercials, they advertise, they take sponsorship. That's all I know. That will soon is about to end. And Truffles, thank you so much. I'm gonna like and heart this message. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Janice Burgess, fantastic to see you. 28 months. Hey, Janice, you remember those times before war when we were just walking around and, it's good times. Good times. When I see the long timers on this channel, I always remember those times before the war when it was still letters to King and inside Russia, going to Gorky Park and doing the streams once a week, good times. Good times, good times. Faith Russert, same here. Faith, thank you for coming all the way from Spain. Jodes Rames, another sponsor, another long timer, another pillar. 25 months. Someone, Jodes, someone left a comment yesterday, like, oh, he didn't mention sponsors again. And it kind of hit me because that person was right. I never mentioned sponsors, but, and that's a mistake. And then I will be mentioning from now on. And thank you guys, and girls, thank you so much. You're really the community. You're the foundation that this community is built upon. Thank you so much. Truffles, thank you for another informative stream. This is the only place I can find accurate info, historical analysis. I'm doing my best. Thank you. And you know what? I really like doing it. I'm fired up. It's just sometimes I have life besides YouTube. I have family and I'm a refugee. Don't forget that. And bad things happen to me once in a while. And that brings me down so bad, and I don't want to talk about it. But anyway, so if everything was fine in terms of life, everything was settled, I would have home and I would not feel threatened, and I wouldn't have to kind of defend myself, and that I'd have so much fun doing it every day. It's unfortunately right now, in the past few weeks, I've had other things to take care about that take an incredible amount of my emotional energy, of my just attention. Thank you so much. I am trying my best, NH, please speak about the murderous Pharisees in our day, Russian Orthodox Church, which murders Ukrainian Christians. What is there to speak about that? I'm speaking now. I don't go to Russian Orthodox Church anymore. They've lost all, I can't even say credibility. They've lost their face with me, personally. I pray to God, the Lord Jesus Christ, with you, and every morning and every night by myself. This is my church inside of me, in my heart, and I invite everyone to pray with me. I don't even know what to speak about them. NH, if you watch my news updates, once in a while I bring outrageous information about some actions that the popes do. Like there was one moment in the last Friday news update a week ago, so go and check it out. Paula W. have actually been watching for 28 months. Thank you, Paula. Fantastic to see you. Today we have a parade of old timers, in a good way, the old sponsors. Paula, thank you so much. Amir, thank you for gifting 10 sponsorships. Thank you, friend. And Frank in Texas, of course. Frank is, I don't even know how to call you. It's not even pillar of Inside Russia. It's like the sky column or something like that. 2 years, 6 months, and 11 days. Thank you, Frank. I still remember that mastermind or whatever I did. Say in Russia would never invade Ukraine. Oh boy. Still feel ashamed of that. Yeah, I think I mentioned everyone. So I missed regular questions, quite a few of them, because I was acknowledging super chats. Marie France, howdy. Quebec is in the house. Bob John, why can't our world government just get along and not kill each other for silly reasons? Lust for power. I think that's what it is. Lust for power. Personal demons that each one of us has. Some people have them in a way that they desire power a little too much. And I think that they go crazy because of that. Larry Barth is here. Howdy, friend. Wolfgang Wimmer. Howdy. And I lost all the messages in the beginning, unfortunately. Andreas Benz, what's happened with the car bomb in Moscow? Well, someone got bombed. That's all I know. D. Andreas, this is one event in the line of many, and back in the old Russia, if someone got bombed in the car, it would be the talk of Russia for a week. Now no one even pays attention, and this is what I'm saying. This is one of the signs that Russia is feverish. Russia is falling apart. Imagine, I can compare it to a car. Imagine a well-maintained car, and then you simply stop maintaining it, and it starts first hiccuping, then coughing, then it starts shaking as you drive, because everything starts falling apart with time. And then there is a road, and you accelerate 200 kilometers per hour. And then your engine starts stopping and going, stopping and going. And then your wheels start shaking. Hand steering wheel starts going back and forth. It's all misaligned. It's all not maintained. And you start having smoke coming out of your pipe. But your car is still going because you accelerated 200 kilometers per hour. When your engine stops, and let's say your brakes fail, your car's still going, but it's a complete wreck. And this is where Russia is right now. It's a complete wreck. It's still going because it had accelerated. It had so much energy, acquired, but it's in a free fall. It's going, but it's not controlling journey any longer. And that's just car booming. That's another example. D. Some people in Dagestan have barricaded themselves in an apartment building and are threatening to blow it up, according to Telegram channel. Let me double check. Must be very recent occurrence because I did not see it earlier when I was preparing for the stream. Nothing major, because not too many Telegram channels are. Usually when something happens, you go ping, 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 and everyone starts, all the Telegram channels start sending messages about that. This is not a big deal. Anyone's birthday today? Mods, let me know if I missed. Bob John, what do you think about mixed economics? What is mixed economics? Could be different meanings of this. Could you please specify? Patskali, greetings from Finland. After lakeside sauna, now Keiche. What can be better? Thank you, friend. I have a few friends in Finland, former colleagues, because I used to work for a company that was part of a Sweco group, which is one of the offices was in Finland, and we dealt with a Finnish office. So I have a few friends, and I know that right now it's your time of taking vacations. That's perfect weather in Finland. That's when you go out to the lakes, vacation, and you just don't work. No matter what happens, the Finns don't work at this time. Everyone plans vacation in July. So, good. I wish I was there. Tell me, is there a festival going on where you all eat crayfish? Dennis Platt at 72, my social security monies are tight, but I deeply appreciate what you do. Dennis, no money required, no super chats, never required. Please keep it on yourself. Thank you for coming, thank you for acknowledging, thank you for, saying hello, and thank you for watching. That is enough. Thank you, friend. Northern Grace, good to see you. Palvia Flex, apparently the band singer Shaman is protesting YouTube. Well, he's protesting American embassy. It has nothing to do with YouTube. And it does not make any sense. He contradicted himself, so childish. He sent a message saying, I don't need YouTube. And then immediately he went in front of the embassy and complained because YouTube shut him down. Daniel McInnes, thank you again. Thank you so much. I know it's not easy. It's not easy because other things but YouTube get interfered with my life. If it wasn't for them, if I was settled, Oh, I would fly to space, you know. Craig Hughes, 8 European Union economic ministers come to the conclusion that Russia is lying about economic strength and performance. Go figure. Thank you, Craig. I have not seen this, but I'm gonna make a research on that because telling "told you so" would be a huge understatement, you know. I was shocked to see that Bloomberg, the International Monetary Fund, the World Bank would come out and say, oh, Russia is growing. Russia is withstanding the sanctions. And everyone in the world would pick it up and say, well, they can't lie. The World Bank can't lie. The Bloomberg can't lie. Russia is doing something right. And I was like, pulling hair out of my head, you know. Thank you. Oh, it's just they have been given the wrong numbers. And all these wonderful organizations have been taking those numbers and trusting them. Da! Thank you. Share long bottom leaf. Thank you so much. I saw your comment. I really am sorry to hear what happened to your dad. We'll pray. Hell Porter. Hey, Hell, if you could, I need to get in touch with you. You said you could do some work for brain drain. If you know, we really need help. If it's possible, could you please reach out to me? Terry, so people can start Link to get around the blockages. No, they can't. Starlink is banned in Russia. Russian soldiers using it illegally, but Russian government has banned Russian citizens to use it because, hey, Russians will get access to everything that Russian government has been blocking, okay? Of course, no Starlink for them. It's highly illegal to have Starlink. Sam, can you order a Chinese meal there? I can, but trust me, it's not the Chinese meals that you have where you are at. I love Chinese in America because it's like catered to Americans. But if you come to Tashkent, we have real Chinese with like real Chinese food. Oh, that's not. I went and there was menu in Chinese only, and they spoke Chinese and Uzbek. They didn't speak Russian, so I ordered something on the menu. They brought me chicken feet. I was like, boiled chicken feet. Come on. So they like, I don't like Chinese food. I like Chinese American food or Chinese European food. You know, it's the same in Europe and America. It's we had quite a few Chinese meals at Prague, in Prague, when my mom and dad lived there. That was same as in America. Chinska, that's what it's called in Czech language. Bob John, is the energy problem still going on that Russian city you mentioned in the previous video? It's better, but blackouts are still there. Now they have schedules in different cities. They black out, it's called rolling blackouts, I think. They black out part of a city for some hours, then they put the energy back on, then they black out another one and so forth. That's really the only way to offset pressure onto the grid and start fixing things. They're having problems with Siemens equipment, that I know for sure. And I don't really know what they're gonna do. I'm going to be talking to my colleagues a lot next week because that's a topic that interests me. So, but we will see. John the Don, constant YouTube works in Russia if Discord is used. I'm not sure what it means whatsoever. Well, I could care less, to be honest with you, because I'm not in Russia and here YouTube works. Eric, I'm not religious, but from what I understand, going to church is mostly a social thing for many people. You know what, Eric? I'm not religious either, but I'm Christian. I have faith. So who are you? You're not religious, so you don't have faith. That's completely different, you know? I don't really know. I used to go to church to pray. I never went as a social thing. If other people go there, can't comment. Jekyll with a message. My friend from Australia. Howdy, howdy. I am Asian, but chicken feet are a no-no. I don't know how people eat them. Seriously. Must be good dishes, like, Peking duck. I love that. I think that they have Peking duck in China. They must have like some chicken, good tasting chicken and stuff like that. But I've seen dishes that I can't really eat. I look at them, I'm like, no, thank you. I'll go have Wendy's or something like that. You know what I mean? It's not the case, for example, with Thailand. Thai food, like anything I can eat. And it's absolutely tasty and it's great. It's like so different from the Chinese. Chinese is huge. It has so many dishes and it it has like all kinds of stuff. Turtles, bugs, and so thank you, friend. Nanette McGregor, Skelmos, thank you so much from Denmark. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You're one of my favorite news channels. You know, when I hear that, makes me feel good, makes me feel better. You know how discouraging sometimes to sit in front of camera, especially when you don't do live streams, you just record videos, and there's no one. It's just you and the video camera, and that's it. And then you upload it, and then just views. But views are just numbers. But when a real person like you writes something like that, that's incredibly encouraging. It's like being in a pub and having like a bunch of people tapping you on the shoulder, saying, "Hey, we saw what you did yesterday. We liked it," something like that. So thank you so much. Thank you. Mac, you know a thing or two about statistics, let me tell you. Don't trust any statistics that you haven't manipulated yourself. I've said it twice in the live streams, long time ago, in January of 2023, and then later in 2023. Yes, I agree. Have you heard any reports of peace talks today? KG1, I went to bed at 6. I woke up at 10:30. I had breakfast and I slept a little bit. I did other things outside YouTube today. And I prepared for the stream, so I did not watch the news of the peace talks. This is a topic I would like to cover probably next week. I would like, before I sign off, I would like to ask you, to tell you, to let you know, and kind of I'm still thinking about it, but I think I'm gonna go ahead and do it. Amir, sponsor for 26 months, and it seems like 2.6 months. I know. I know, friend. It's unbelievable. Thank you so much. Thank you for being sponsor and moderator. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Now, friends, to be honest with you, I am very disturbed by what I'm seeing happening in Poland. No, I did not eat the chicken feet. I just don't know. I'm disturbed at what is happening in the USA. because summer of 2024, and this is just my point of view. I want to make a disclaimer. Summer of 2024 reminds me of summer of 1999 that happened in Russia. This summer it's happening in America. That summer it happened in Russia. I will not have live stream chat on Sunday. I will not have comments. I'll shut them off because people tend to be very polarized and fight over politics. And it's going to be comparing Russian politics to American politics, like direct comparison. So just giving you heads up, okay? And I don't want anyone to fight, but that's the topic I don't want to miss because it's important. Truffles, thank you so much. Friends, you have a chance of people snatching your country right in front of your nose, just like they did it to us. Different people, but the same scenario. I mean, A-Star, did you guys hear all about how Russia and China had bombers in American airspace in Alaska yesterday? I did not hear about that. I heard that they got close and American planes did not let them enter, but I didn't hear about penetrating American airspace. Because then the U.S. jet fighters could have just shot them down. Valorous Vigilante. Seen Baklakov channel, all that work driving to make Russia look good. How Putin going to ban his work? Sergei Baklakov, oh, I remember the guy. We met in Rostov the day before the war started. I watched one video that he made, and I realized that our views on the war are very different, opposite, and I have not watched them ever since. I guess he still makes videos, huh? All that work driving to make Russia look good. It's easy to make Russia look good, and you wouldn't even have to lie, to be honest with you. There are parts of Russia that are well developed, rich, clean, nice, and I love that Russia. I showed you many pieces of that Russia. I showed you the center of Moscow, the Red Square, surroundings of the Red Square, the boulevards. I showed you the Gorky Park, VDNH. I showed you the best parts of Rostov, Krasnodar. And that Russia does exist. And it's beautiful. And that's the country that I loved. And all you have to do, pick up a video camera and let others watch it, see it. There are places in Moscow when you go. Just before I go into prayer, I'll tell you a personal story. We had a tradition to go to saunas, banyas, with my friends. My friend Eugene, his brother, a big politician, big bureaucrat in medical field, and a few friends of us. Every Saturday, I would take Michael, who was 2 years old, 3 years old, and we would go to banya. And banyas in Moscow, some banyas are very expensive, and they're like top of the world. Saint-Denis, for example, they cost a lot to get in. And I remember on one morning, we usually 8 in the morning. We went there 8 in the morning, and it's right next to Детский мир, Kuznetsky Most, very expensive, right next to the central bank, literally right next to the building of the central bank. Very expensive. Apartments there start a few $1 million and up. Okay, the cars are Mercedeses and places sparkling clean, and it's not even Russia. It's Beverly Hills. And then all of a sudden we see that a Swiss guy sitting there. And I hear him speak English to staff. And I start speaking English, and he's well-to-do fella, young fella from Switzerland, decided to take a trip to Russia, see how it looks like. And he tells us, he goes, look, I didn't expect Russia to be like that. It's like Switzerland. You know, nice cars, very expensive cars. Mercedes is S-Class everywhere. People are nicely dressed, very expensive dresses, good food, fine restaurants. It's, you know, it's not what Russia is portrayed. That Russia does exist. But there's also another Russia. That perfect Russia is a very small piece of the entire country. In order to see real Russia, go to Bataisk, go to Novoshakhtinsk, go to Tsemlyansk, you know, places like that. Look around and see how people live there, okay? And unfortunately, that's 95% of Russia is like that. So Sergei lives in St. Petersburg, in a very nice city, #2 city in Russia. And then he just takes camera and most likely goes around and shows the finest St. Petersburg has to offer, just like I did. It's just there are other things too. What is Russia doing in Ukraine exactly? You know, questions like that. Yeah, you know what I mean. So thank you so much. Friends, I would like to invite everyone to finish this live stream in a prayer, with a prayer. Thank you so much. If you're religious, if not religious, let's pray. Because it's all the same to me, and I invite you to, if you non-believer, then please send good vibes and good energy and good wishes to people along with us. Let's do it. Dear Lord Jesus Christ, thank you so much for giving us this day. Thank you for putting food on our tables and giving roofs over our heads. Thank you for surrounding us with people who will love and who love us. Please give us wisdom to keep the skies above our children's heads safe and peaceful, and raise our children in a way that they will become better people than us. We'll make this world a better place. We'll never fight in any wars, just love each other. For now, please keep our children safe and healthy, because they are our world and our lives. Dear Lord, please help Ukraine. Stop the bloodshed. The country and people have suffered so much. They need break, they need peace, they need normal life back. Please help everyone who has suffered tragedies. Help every single Ukrainian who has been through hard times and who has suffered, who has been affected. Answer their prayers and make their wishes come true. Please reach out and touch the hearts and souls of those responsible for and capable of making decision to stop the bloodshed. Make them make that decision to stop the war. Please help my country, Russia. Dear Lord, assemble the army of your strongest angels with sharpest swords, led by Saint Michael in shining armor, and send them like heavenly avalanche onto this earth to have the country back from the demons who we know by their faces and by their names. Give Russia back to good people. Have your angels come down and help them to run the country so it's peaceful, loving, and respecting. Please send safe travels to everyone who is traveling. Send safety to everyone who's in trouble. Send help to everyone who's applying for any asylum, running away from evil. God bless those who are helping Ukrainians, and please keep everyone in Ukraine safe from Russian attacks. Dear Lord, please help single mothers and fathers who are struggling raising their children. trying to make ends meet. Help those who are sick, addicted, cold, hungry, jobless, homeless, betrayed, crying, depressed, feeling not well about themselves, about their lives, losing their faith, and who are feeling alone and left. Please reach out and fill everyone's heart with love and mercy, and let them know that, have them feel that you're right next to them. You have not left them. You're still watching every step that they take, and they're still your children, and you still love them. Dear Lord, please help everyone in need. Thank you so much for allowing us to come together and pray in this community. And thank you for everyone who's praying along with me or simply watching us pray. Answer everyone's prayer and make everyone's wish come true. Dear Lord, I have some people who need your help. They are Joseph Abide, who recently fell and broke bones. He needs help and recovery. Ann Larson and her daughter Hannah, Jeffrey S. and members of his family, and Alex from Albuquerque, Mark Rutan, Tom W., J.R. McKim, Frank in Texas, Gabing with Gary, Lisa Cumrian, Harry Potnan and his family, Terry Carter, John McLean, Linda Trombley, Paula W., Dennis, Jason Carney, Susie Mailer, Tim Mayers, Dory, Rhonda McGillis, John, Taylor, Wayne, Dave, Don, Darla, George Ruberty, Pamela J., Meta Spencer, David Porter, his family, and everyone who is in Chernovtsi, Ukraine, Leif, Randolph, Grace, Dean Spooner and his church, Elena, Natasha, Michael, Jake, Oля, Dasha, Sky, Svetlana, Sergey, Liz, Ron Klotzer, Liz Dumbrell, Koshkin Dom, Sandra, Mike and Mike, Petra Olson, please send her strength, and little girl Sarah, who needs recovery, and her family needs strength. Thank you so much, dear Lord Jesus Christ. Amen. My friends, thank you for coming. Fantastic to see everyone. Another stream, another message, another step in fighting the good fight. Thank you all. You're absolutely awesome and you rock. I want you to remember that. Never forget. Thank you, Renefe. And I want to ask you, as usual, to say along with me as loud as you can the following. Carthago delenda est.